Okay, so today we're going to dive into, well, some pretty wild news, honestly.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so it looks like the U.S. and Russia just had this high-level meeting, right?
Mm.
And get this, it's their first in like almost 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And what's it focused on? Ending the war in Ukraine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, pretty major. But here's the thing, and this is the part that I really don't get.
Yeah.
Ukraine wasn't even there.
Wow. So a meeting about ending the war, and they didn't even invite Ukraine.
Nope, not at all.
Huh. I gotta say, that's pretty strange.
Yeah, it's definitely raising some eyebrows, to say the least.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you exclude, like, one of the main players in this whole situation, right?
Right.
Especially when you think about it, Russia's invasion of Ukraine, it's still happening. It's not over.
Yeah, it's a good point.
So this meeting, it could be a turning point, maybe.
Possibly.
But the way it's all set up, it feels kind of off, you know?
Yeah, no, I see what you mean.
So let's try to unpack this a little bit, all right?
Okay, sounds good.
Help me understand this. What makes this meeting so significant?
Okay, well, you hit on part of it already, right?
Yeah.
This is the first U.S.-Russia meeting in years, and that alone is huge. But it goes even deeper than that.
Okay.
It's happening after the West basically went all in on isolating Russia, right?
Uh-huh.
Diplomatically, financially, you name it.
Right.
So for these two countries to come together now and to be talking about this specific issue,
Yeah.
it's a pretty big shift in the global landscape, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And there's another angle to this too.
Okay.
You know, from Russia's point of view, this meeting, this is a win.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, their foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov,
Uh-huh.
he even came out and said basically that the U.S. is finally starting to listen to Moscow.
What do you think he means by that?
Well, it could be a few things, right?
Yeah.
I mean, sanctions relief, that would be a major victory for Russia.
Do you?
You know, allow them to kind of regain some economic ground.
Hmm.
But I think it goes beyond even that, because
Right.
Lavrov's statement, it seems like it's more about Russia feeling like their concerns, their perspective,
Uh-huh.
which, you know, the West has largely just dismissed.
Right.
He's saying they're finally being acknowledged.
So the meeting itself, it's almost like a form of validation for them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it lends some weight to that idea, that's for sure.
Okay, so Russia's happy.
Yeah, it seems that way.
But I've also read that, like, Europe's not exactly thrilled with this whole situation.
Yeah, no, they're not.
What's their take on it?
So there are some pretty serious concerns brewing in Europe right now.
Yeah.
You know, they're feeling pretty excluded from a decision-making process that directly impacts their security and stability.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, the French prime minister even went so far as to call it an unthinkable alliance.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, between Putin and Trump. So basically,
So they're seeing this as a direct threat to Europe.
well, yeah, they're definitely saying that Europe is being sidelined in all of this.
Okay, so what does all of this mean for Europe then?
Well, I think their concerns are understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, this meeting, it could signal a weakening of NATO,
Oh, wow.
or at least a pretty significant shift in the alliance's dynamics.
Right.
Like if the U.S. is seen as prioritizing its relationship with Russia, you know, over its European allies,
Yeah.
that could have some long-term consequences for transatlantic cooperation.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so it's definitely a tricky situation.
Okay, so we've got Russia feeling good about the meeting, Europe feeling uneasy.
Yes. Yeah.
But then you've got President Trump saying that Ukraine is actually responsible for this whole war.
Oh, right. Yeah. That adds a whole other layer of complexity to this.
It does, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So what's going on there? Is he right?
Well, so to be clear, President Trump's assertion about Ukraine being to blame for the war,
Yep.
it's not accurate.
Right.
Russia invaded Ukraine.
Unprovoked.
Yeah, I mean, and the source material we're looking at here,
Uh-huh.
it really underscores that point.
Okay.
It says that even while this meeting was happening, you know, all this diplomacy going on,
Yeah.
Russian forces were still actively bombing Ukrainian cities.
Wow.
So it's like, we've got this meeting that could be a step towards peace, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's happening at the same time as all this violence and all these political games.
Right.
What do we make of this?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It really is.
This meeting, and especially the fact that they excluded Ukraine.
Yeah.
It just brings up so many questions about the future of this conflict
Yeah.
and about, you know, how effective international diplomacy really is.
Oh,
Like,
right.
Will sidelining Ukraine actually bring Russia to the negotiating table in a meaningful way?
Or will it just embolden them and potentially escalate the conflict even further?
Yeah, that's a scary thought.
It is, and those are the questions we really need to be thinking about as we watch all of this unfold.
A lot to think about.
Definitely.
Well, thanks for breaking that down. This is definitely a complicated situation.
Yeah, it really is.
But, hopefully this is a step in the right direction.
We can hope.
Let's hope so.
No.
Okay, well that's it for our deep dive today.
Thanks for having me.
And for everyone listening, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.